What makes somebody naturally optimistic? What makes somebody find the good no matter what is going on in the course of a day? The other day, my husband and I went out for a walk, and it was kind of a low, overcast, gray sort of a day. And there's an old man that we run into often who has a little fat Jack Russell Terrier that comes along with him named Lewis. And this man walks with walking poles, and he has Lewis that runs alongside of him, and he always stops and chats briefly. But the thing that I remember about him the other day was that it wasn't a very pretty day. It was a little bit disappointing, actually, a little bit dark. And we've had a lot of those days lately. And when we saw him and we stopped to exchange hellos, he looked up in the air and he said, "What a beautiful day it is." And I was just so struck by this man's joyful embrace of the day. He had an ability to take whatever the day offered and make it beautiful, recognize it for the beauty that was in it. That is grounded optimism, right? That is the measured optimism that we're all going for. Hi, this is Shannon Huffman-Polson. It's Mindset Mondays. This is week 3 of our 8-part series. And we're going to build on weeks 1 and 2, where we're really examining how it is that we can take mindset and make it our own, or recognize that it always has been our own, and that only you get to choose how you respond to events and how you show up in the world. So building on that idea from week 1, we're going to take a little bit of last week as well. Now, you remember last week, we looked at challenging our assumptions. So what are those things that hold you back? Can you really unpack what that looks like? What are those things that you don't even really question anymore because they're just things that you've thought for long enough that you've allowed them to hold you back. You've allowed them to color the way that you go into the world. So you did that work last week, and we're going to continue that train of thought. I'd love to know how this work is going for you because it is work that we need to do every day. The consistency is key. You don't need to do it for a long time. It's just paying attention to it every day. So last week, we looked at how we could literally change those patterns by changing how we started a sentence about a limitation or about a limiting belief. This week, we're going to go out and hunt for examples. We're going to look for the evidence that contradicts those negative or those limiting beliefs. This is an exercise that the Army's Master Resilience Program calls hunting the good stuff. So we're going to go on a hunt for good things in your day. This is a lot of fun because you're looking for good things. You're looking for things that make you smile, for things that bring you energy, for things that bring you joy. And this may be something that's as small as seeing a bird land on the feeder when you're making your coffee, or it might be somebody letting you in on the highway as you drive to work. It might be seeing somebody else do a good deed for another person. It might be reading an article about somebody who's overcome something. Whatever that is, what you want to do is make note of that. What is it that's bringing you inspiration and joy and happiness and allows you to really engage with delight in the world? Now, you want to have a journal of some sort because you want to take that journal and use it to write these things down. It's very easy to let something that you notice go by. It's very easy to let that thought and that thought that can then be translated into action go by if we don't write it down. I'm a big fan of doing that in a paper journal. You can also do that on the Notes app on your phone or your computer. But think about a way that's meaningful to you that you can go back and reference about those good things that happened during your day. And then, towards the end of your day, sit down again with that journal. And you're going to ask yourself a couple of questions and write them down. The first thing is, why did this good thing happen? Why did it happen to you? Or why did you happen to observe it? It might be happenstance. It might be a choice that you made. And you're going to ask yourself, what does this good thing mean to you? Why did you register that? Why did you register that in a way that you wrote it down, that you took notice of it, that it changed the way that you approached the day? What can you do tomorrow to enable more of this good thing? Is it a way that you interact with a coworker, or maybe even the route that you take into work? And what ways do you or others contribute to this good thing? Answer each of those questions for the things that you noted in your journal or on your Notes app, and see if there isn't a way that you can impact bringing more of that good into your life. Now, here's the wonderful thing. It doesn't just have to be good that happens to you, that happens by circumstance in your life. It can be something that you make happen as well, that you make happen for somebody else, for yourself or for somebody else or for your organization. And so you have, just like with mindset, control over those good things that happen during your day. So just to sum up, we've looked at the very beginning, week 1, at how it is that we have control over our mindsets. We have utter and complete agency over how it is that we respond to what happens to us in the world. In week 2, we looked at how it is that we change those limiting thoughts and behavior. And today, we're going out and we're looking for the evidence that contradicts those limiting thoughts or any kind of deep-seated understanding that we might have and not really have challenged, but really which is holding us back from being our best selves in the world. Remember, the world needs you to be your best self. And so when you go out there and you look for the good, you look for those things that bring you joy and energy and ways that you contribute joy and energy to other people, you're well on your way to developing that mindset of grit and resilience and becoming that courageous leader for a better world. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, please hit like just below. Leave me a comment about what it is that you thought, how it is that this is useful in your life and work, and consider subscribing to the channel. I'd also really love it if you would forward this to a friend. I think all of us could use more of this work, and these are short videos with short exercises that are just good reminders during the course of the week that we have the ability to change ourselves so that we can go out and change the world.